Hello, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. I have a bit of a different layout here. I'm trying some new software to hopefully make better content. I want to make better content, more content, and I want to cover more things. And I think this will help me get things out quicker and be able to talk about more topic and of course more topics. Of course we will always talk about politics, but I would like to talk about more cultural things as well, and this is definitely one of them. So just bear with me, I'm figuring out how to use this software. Let me know if you like it, if you don't like it. But let's get into this. This video I found on Twitter yesterday, and this is from MTV. And I remember when I used to watch MTV like way back in the day. I don't anymore, but MTV used to be so cool. It was just music videos. They had some cool shows. Now every time I turn on MTV, it just seems to be repeats of the show Ridiculousness. I think that's just the entire channel is now the show Ridiculousness. And now we have this. We've always had MTV News, but now it's delved into a total different world. And I think culture is really important. Culture and politics go hand in hand. These are the type of things that are being shown to younger people that are a lot more impressionable. And this is a new take on feminism, apparently. We went from girl boss a few years ago to now being a bimbo. And I just feel like going into the dark corners of the internet, and then this new thing was like, hold my beer. You thought you heard everything? You haven't heard everything. So I want to watch this video with you and sort of go through it. It's a 5-minute video from MTV News about how being dumb and unmotivated is now empowering. So we're going to go through this. And another reason I chose this video to talk about with you all is because you are going to hear some very, very familiar things. So let's start. But first it says, a take on the bimbo archetype is giving feminism a makeover in 2022. And the conversation is taking a front seat Women's History Month in music and pop culture. So according to MTV, this is front and center for Women's History Month and is the big new thing in music and pop culture. So let's see what this new and exciting thing is. Here we go.
In a modern world that insists on productivity and efficiency as capitalist ideals, the return of the bimbo is revolutionary.
So we already know where this is going. You've heard the familiar thing. Anti-capitalism. What is anti-capitalism? Communism. Socialism. Interesting.
I'm Yoonj Kim, and this is MTV News Need to Know. From Kim Petras' new EP Slut Pop to TikTok influencers, many young people are embracing bimboism as a feminist and even anti-capitalist movement.
Bimboism is now a anti-capitalism and feminist movement. Okay, I love the bimbo dumb blonde trope in movies. I think they're fun. I love Elle Woods. I was a Marilyn Monroe fan. All of those things. Cher from Clueless. I love those tropes. I love those movies. But that is entertainment. That's all it is. It is pure entertainment. You don't strive to be viewed as not smart.
They're giving it an inclusive makeover.
Oh.
The bimbo, historically defined as an attractive but seemingly dumb woman, has been an archetype since the 50s and used pejoratively to describe Marilyn Monroe and Reese Witherspoon's Elle Woods. But in the last couple of years, the hyper-feminine spaced-out trend has come back thanks mostly to TikTok, and the definition has evolved. Influencer Chrissy Schlepeka explains who the Gen Z bimbo is.
She's actually a radical leftist who's pro-sex work, pro-Black Lives Matter, pro-LGBTQ, pro-choice, and will always be there for her girls, gays, and nays.
Today,
you see what's happening here? And I don't know if you caught what she was writing in her book, but it said it was something against capitalism. So this isn't just about being a woman and being proud to be a woman. This isn't just about being a woman. This is anti-capitalism, pro-Black Lives Matter, all of these political things. So now it's about political activism, and this is what they're putting on MTV. Interesting.
Bimboism is also a diversion from choice feminism, which is about the individual and more in line with community-based feminism.
Collective. Guys, does this sound, have we heard these things before? It's about the collective, not individual, collective. And there's nothing wrong with a collective. There's nothing wrong with having a community. You should have a community. But that's not what they're doing here.
We're uplifting one another. It's not just about skinny white blondes and pink lipstick anymore. Bimbo TikTok includes people of all different shapes, gender identities, and races. And the message is to do whatever it takes to love yourself and others, whether it's wearing a ton of makeup, going to therapy, or ending a toxic relationship. And over the past few decades, this surge in girl boss feminism empowered and encouraged women to rightfully take on roles once stereotypically held by men. But now we're seeing a reconsideration of girl bossification as many young people are rethinking their roles in capitalism.
So, and she's right. A few years ago, it was all about the girl boss. There was a book called Girl Boss. There was a show called Girl Boss. Sheryl Sandberg with her book, Lean In, speaking at the corporate meeting table, climbing up the corporate ladder, having your own business, being a badass bitch, excuse my language, but that's what women were told. And it's sort of funny because both of these things, in my opinion, is an overcorrection. The girl boss was sort of an exaggerated corporate girl climbing up the ladder, and now this bimbo, what is it, bimbofication, is now the exaggeration of the ultra feminism. And both of them, I think, are an overcorrection of each other, neither of which I think is healthy for females. Telling females to climb the corporate ladder, think of nothing else. You don't need to have children. You don't need to have a man. All you need is a career. Money will make you happy. That is damaging to women. But also telling women, pretend like you're dumb, wear a ton of makeup, don't strive for anything, hate capitalism, is also damaging to women, and telling them that being an individual but being more of a collective, which yes, community is very important. I believe in church. I believe in having groups of friends and communities that you can be around that are positive and uplifting, but that's not exactly what this is about. That's not what this means. We know this is what is being pushed down the throats of kids in school. It's these communistic ideas, equity, and these socialist ideas. That's what is really popular among young people. So this is sort of within that realm, which is very, very interesting.
And Gen Z bimbos are rejecting preconceived notions that they need to be a productive member of society with.
So they are rejecting that you need to be a productive member in society. They are rejecting capitalism. Okay, but I don't know if you saw, look, did you see the girls in the TikTok videos, the ones that are having these ideas? Do they have iPhones? Do they buy makeup? Do they buy clothes? Do they like to shop? Do they like to be ultra feminist? All of those, you are contributing to capitalism with just who you are. When you're buying your iPhone, your Mac, your makeup, all of these things, you are contributing to capitalism. So you are benefiting off capitalism and telling people that capitalism is bad. You don't need to be a productive member of society with a high worker value.
Worker value. Arielle Richards wrote in Vice that for many feminists whose coming of age was centered around girl bossification, bimboism represents a shift towards finding empowerment by simply refusing to participate. Online bimbos say that if not being ambitious equals being dumb, then f*** it. That's what they are.
If you don't want to be a productive member of society, people will not hire you. If you act dumb, people will treat you like you're dumb.
So many of us have stories about being put in appearance-based boxes. And my big break as a journalist was hosting a documentary series for Playboy focusing on drug trafficking. But because of how I looked and who I was working for, People didn't believe that I was actually a reporter investigating hard narcotics.
You're doing a piece on bimboism and how acting dumb and not wanting to be a productive member of society is empowering for women, and you're wondering why you're not taken seriously. That was a bit of a self-own. That's...
Assuming that I would stick to soft news or wasn't built for dangerous on-the-ground
soft news, you're talking about bimboism.
coverage. Up until recently, many viewed bimboism as anti-feminist because of the perception that it prioritized the male gaze, and that these women dumbed themselves down and changed their appearance to be attractive to men. The word was an insult, and other women saw bimbos as both the ideal and the competition for male attention. And yet, as much as famous bimbos were propped up for their looks, there was a misogynistic cultural obsession with tearing them down. And today, a lot of iconic bimbos are finally getting justice in the court of public opinion, because so often in the court of law, they were deprived of it, especially when it comes to rape culture. When 90s icon Pamela Anderson and her husband Tommy Lee's sex tape was stolen and distributed, Pam was victim blamed because she'd shown her body in photo shoots throughout her career. And the question...
But let me tell you something about... I actually like Pamela Anderson a lot. But this is where this whole idea is so damaging, because I don't agree with how the media treated a lot of these women back in the day. But when you build your career solely on your looks and your sex appeal, then people are not going to treat you with respect. When that's what you lead with, that's what you get. And I'm not saying that any of these media outlets or reporters or interviewers were right in what they did. I think those were both two wrongs. But whatever you lead with is what you get back in this world. If you lead with curiosity, with wanting to work hard, with loving people, with your mind instead of your looks, then that's what you're going to get back in their world. People will treat you good based on your mind. I am a blonde girl. I have a high-pitched voice. I've had people in my life mistakenly call me a bimbo or make fun of me because of those things, because I sort of have that appearance. But when I'm online talking to you guys, I lead with my brain. I get very, very few comments calling me dumb or calling me stupid or sexualizing me or anything like that. Sometimes people will say they think I'm pretty, and that's cool. But most of the people that I interact with online, most of you all have respect for me, and you have respect for me because I lead with my ideas and my mind. I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm not saying that I just have the greatest opinions in the world or anything like that, but you respect that I lead with my mind, and I try, and I think, and I educate myself, and I want to be the best that I can, and that's why I get respect in life most of the time. Obviously, there are always jerks out there, but that's why I get respect. And it's so sad to me to see females do this to themselves. The girl boss was the same thing. It was just overcorrection. It was like, why am I not being respected? I don't understand. You have to give respect to earn respect. If you're coming in the office, you better respect me. I'm a girl boss. I'm climbing up the ladder. I don't need no man. People don't want to be around that person. They don't like that person. That's not a cool person to be around. The same with someone who acts dumb and doesn't want to be a productive member of society and wears a ton of makeup and teeny tiny clothes and says she doesn't care what people think. That's not a cool person. That's not a likable person. No one wants to be around that person. That is not a person that the world is going to respect. You get in life what you put in. My advice to girls: be curious, try new things, learn new things, work hard, because hard work pays off. Don't care what people think, but care how you are in the society, care what you put out in the world. Every day wake up and say, did I make the world better today, or did I make it worse? Ugh. It's so sad to me because, and now this is on MTV, And, young people see this and they're like, oh, that's so cool. These things don't make you happy. And this pro-sex work thing, let me tell you something. When this whole thing with OnlyFans and like pro-sex work, it's empowering. Okay, maybe there's like 2 people on the planet that it's empowering for. Maybe there's a few girls that say it's empowering. But several things. 1, those images live forever. You're never going to get them back. 2, you are severely lowering or shrinking your dating pool because most respectable men don't want to be with a woman who's putting it out there on the internet or who's going out, taking her clothes off or doing whatever. And it does something to your self-esteem. It does something because all of a sudden that one thing that was special for that one person, now the entire world is seeing. I don't find that empowering. What I find empowering is not having to use my body or things that I was just given naturally, but using things that I worked on. I mean, people work on their bodies. I get that. That's not, but I think you know what I'm saying.
What was she wearing is a chilling reminder of how many women's assaults and violations have been downplayed because of their appearance. And the pervasive idea that a woman could be, quote, asking for it when it comes to sexual assault stems from the perception that attractive women are just objects. Today, pop culture is beginning to see women as multifaceted human beings.
Okay, and wearing a rubber mask on the runway doesn't seem like what. That's multifaceted now. Oh my gosh. Again, it's so focused on appearance. Stop thinking about your appearance. It's one thing, you should take pride in your appearance. You should want to look nice. You should want to exercise and feel good about your appearance, but you shouldn't be so obsessed with it. My appearance is the least interesting thing about me. Wearing a rubber, oh gosh.
That was not previously part of the bimbo stereotype. Shows like Pam and Tommy and Impeachment, American Crime Story are forcing people to rethink how women like Anderson and Monica Lewinsky were persecuted for their sexuality, unlike their male counterparts. And in January, the Secrets of Playboy documentary series allowed for some of the most famous bimbos, like Holly Madison, to reveal the exploitative cult-like abuse she and others endured under.
I'm not saying that any of these men are good men. I think you know how I feel about Bill Clinton. I may have some opinions about Hugh Hefner. But I think women also need to have some personal responsibility. I haven't watched the Playboy series. I've heard a lot about it. But those women chose to be, nobody held them hostage. And I get they were, they put themselves in that situation. They got rich off of that. They got famous off of that. They got career opportunities off of that. None of us would know who Holly Madison is if it wasn't for her time there. And I actually like her. I follow her on TikTok, but I'm saying we wouldn't know who she was if it wasn't for that. She wouldn't have the bank account she has if it wasn't for that. So these women, they put themselves in this situation. And that's my problem with a lot of times we talk about, I think it was Amy Schumer who was talking some crap about Louis C.K. And Louis C.K., he's a comedian, and he got in trouble for, well, he didn't get in trouble, but he got canceled because he would see a lot of women and just do things to himself in front of them and just really creepy stuff. And yeah, it's creepy, but he didn't do anything illegal, and those women were there. And I've been in Hollywood. I've seen it. There are a lot of women that are groupies and that will do anything to get the attention of a man. And I think both are bad. And women need to understand, too, when you're showing off all your skin, that's what people are seeing. They're like, oh, you want me to look at you. You want me to look at that. You want me to stare at your body. Otherwise, why would you wear nothing?
Hefner's tenure. And amid this new wave of bimboism, shows like Selling Sunset portray successful business women who dress like Barbies and make 5- and 6-figure commissions unapologetically. And
capitalism. Okay, so now this is so funny because this is the turn that feminism has taken So now being empowered, so earlier they were saying don't be a productive member of society, don't care what people think, and now they're saying these women are awesome because they dress like Barbies and they look like Barbies and they make 5 and 6 figures. So which one is it?
Music is having a major surge of hyperfemme girl power bubblegum poppiness with artists like Kim Petras and Doja Cat. And many are confusing bimboism with encouraging stupidity, when really the movement is encouraging self-happiness and propping up others. You don't need to be exceptional at anything. You just need to be yourself.
That's about the gist of it. I'll stop it there. There was also an article about this on Vice. So yeah, this is a thing. So let's teach women, don't be exceptional at anything, act dumb, and that is now empowering. Well, let me tell you, if those are your goals, the world is not going to treat you how you expect. And this is what always happens with feminism. We're giving women the wrong message. That doesn't lead to success. That doesn't lead to happiness. They eat it up and then they're like, why am I not happy? I don't understand. Which creates more anger, which makes them go off the deep end in a total other direction. The idea of weaponized unintelligence isn't new. The trope is intertwined with the canon of old Hollywood bimbos over the years. From dumb blondes to gold diggers, passing decades have seen men on screen and off fall for the beguiling manipulation of the doe-eyed, beautiful woman who would pretend to not know any better to make their way in the world. That's entertainment, people. Anyway, so that's where we're at right now. That was really interesting to be on MTV. I might have to pay attention to MTV a little bit more to see what's happening. All right, thank you all. Sorry if this was long and jumbled. I'm just trying out this new format, so I promise it'll get a little bit better. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you later. Bye.